this is BremSter, and tonight I'm coming to you with the second last puzzle in the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure, the series I've been running on my channel for over a week now. This is Who Are You? What Do You Want? By me, and this is a puzzle based on one of my favourite TV shows of all time, Babylon 5. I binge Babylon 5 start to finish, all 5 seasons, yeah, even season 5, probably every couple of years. I really do love this show. So yeah, this puzzle is one that I had a lot of trouble setting. I do remember that because of the way I wanted to play with the constraints on this one and make this one something a bit special. And yeah, but it solves much smoother than through the monolith did, I promise. This one is a fairly good one. So if you haven't been following along, you can grab the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure below and try and catch up all the videos for all of the previous 6 missions. This is mission 7, will be available. You can grab the pack, read through the story. And tomorrow, will be the final video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass over to BremSter from a couple of weeks ago, who solved this, and then I will be back afterwards for the post-solve thing. I'm not sure. Wow, I'm losing it. Hopefully he will do better. Okay, here we are with mission 7 for the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. On the puzzle, it's actually got a typo and it says it's mission 6, but it's fine. This was mission 7. It's correct in the pack. So this is Who Are You? What Do You Want? Which is a Babylon 5 themed puzzle. Yeah, we went really silly with the story, but it's fun. I hope you've been I hope you downloaded the pack and have been reading along as we've been doing the puzzles. So yeah, hopefully the future BremSter, who knows what I'm doing with these, has been explaining what's going on. So I'm just going to get straight into the puzzle. So the rules for this one are actually a little bit weird. They're normal rules, but they're used in a different way. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. The central box is Babylon 5 and must be a magic square. And what that means is each row or any set of 3 digits in a line in this box must sum to 15. There are magic squares that you can download or you can figure it out by logic. But yes, this central box is a magic square. I say they sum to the same total, but it's 15. We'll get to that very quickly. The green line in this puzzle is a whisper line, which means that adjacent digits along the line must have a difference of at least 5. And then we've got these fleet areas. There is the yellow fleet, which in Babylon 5 was the Vorlon fleet, and then you've got the grey fleet, which would have been the Shadow fleet. Sure, they never fought at Babylon 5, but so these are the 2 fleets that are coming in for battle. Within the fleets, these cells are ships and are either X's or V's. Some X's and V's are given, and any X and V will a ship that is an X the 2 cells will sum to 10. A V means the 2 cells will sum to 5. A ship without a total means that you do not know whether it'll sum to 5 or 10, and fully within a fleet, no other ships exist. So you cannot have other cells within a fleet that sum to 5 or 10. Similarly down here, these are different shape of ships because they're an opposing fleet, but the same rules apply. These will be 5s, these will be 10s, these may be 5s or 10s, and you cannot have 2 other cells within this area that sum to 5 or 10. However, any cells that do not fully encompass, not fully enclosed by a fleet location may sum to 5 or 10. So those 2 cells may sum to 5 or 10, those 2 cells may sum to 5 or 10, those 2 cells may sum to 5 or 10 because those 2 cells are not fully within a fleet. That's how this puzzle works. So let's give this a shot. So a magic square is tempting to start with, and in fact I'm going to. So what we know is within a magic square, I said they sum to 50, anything will sum to 15. I'm just going to prove that. So what we know is all of these rows, columns, and the diagonals sum to the same total. We know that a full box of a Sudoku sums to 45. So we know that all of these will sum to 45 divided by 3, which is 15. So that's nice and simple. But you need to be able to make 15 in all of these directions. Now, there is a tricky way of figuring that out. But if you were to put any cell other than a 5 into the middle, you would not be able to make the 15, because whatever you put in here, you need to be able to make basically the same digit with those. So if this was say a 3, you would need to make 12 there, 12 there, 12 there, and 12 there. But there's not 4 different ways of making up 12. That doesn't work. The only number that you've got 4 different ways of making up is 10. So the thing that is left over is 5, and you put a 5 in the middle. That's what you end up with. Now, there is more that you can do with this, but this puzzle actually leads you to a better discovery of the magic square. So I'm going to do that. And the way you can do that is you can highlight all of the V's in the puzzle, and you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, because the only way to make up 5 is using 1, 4, or 2, 3. This, because this is a whisper line, this line tells you that, and I'm explaining this because these are the rules, basically. I do not remember the solve pass. It's been 6 months since I looked at this puzzle, nearly. So these must be low. So we know that along a whisper line, the digits must alternate from high to low to high to low because of the 5 difference. And you can never put a 5 on a whisper line. So because of that high-low difference, what you end up with is once you put a 1, 2, 3, 4 on a line, any digit that is 5 different from a low digit will be higher than 5, and then they will keep alternating. So this must be a 6, 7, 8, or 9. This must be 6, 7, 8, 9. These must be 1, 2, 3, 4. These must be 6, 7, 8, 9. This must be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this must be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, we can do more than that, and I'm going to start in the central box. If this was a 6, the only digit that is 5 apart from 6 is 1, and both of those would have to be 1. So that can't be a 6. Similarly here, if this was a 6, both of those would have to be a 1. If this is a 6, both of those would have to be a 1. So they can't be 6s. If this was a 4, the only digit that is 2 away from 4 is 9. So both of those would have to be 9. So that can't be 4, and the same is true of those. Neither of those can be 4. So these are now fully placed. So these have to be 4 and 6 to go for the 4, 5, 6. Now, this is where you can get a bit of a shortcut, because you know that these have to sum to 15, or this, you can do it in this order. This sums to 15, we're good, but this has to sum to 15. This is an even number. Now, if you have an even number, and then we need to have an even and an odd along here. And there was a way of doing this, and I'm bad at magic, describing magic squares, but can I remember how to explain it? I explained this about 5 months ago, and I'm trying to do it now from memory. But there is a way. Basically, these corners need to be even, and I'm trying to remember how to prove that. Because that's a rule of a magic square. The corners need to be even and the middle bits need to be odd. And I think it's from here, actually. So if these were both... If these were both odd, we could get to 15. Then we'd have an even and an odd... And that would need to be even. So if these are both even, then this would be even. This would need to be odd. Then we'd have odd, odd. This would need to be odd. And then we'd have odd, odd, even, and that would not reach 15 because that's an odd total. And it's something like that. There is a more elegant way of doing it. But if you try and make this box work where these are have got even digits in them, the box breaks. So what you know is that you can prove fairly, I'm trying to remember how, I think that was it. If you try and make these even, these are all even, and then you've got along here, you've got problem. Oh, in these columns, you've got a problem because all of those become even. And then down here, you've got two odds and an even, and two odds and an even do not make an odd digit. So if those are even, you've got a problem. So if one of those is even, you've got the wrong parity. So both of those need to be odd. The same works in this direction. So you can take the even digits out of those. That can't be 2. That can't be 8. That can't be 2. That can't be 8. And then you can take the 1 and 3 out of there, which makes that a 2. That becomes an 8. And sorry that took me so long to explain, but I was trying to do it in a way that actually flowed for the puzzle. Now, this cannot be a 6 for the same reason as I explained down here, because this would make both of those 1s, so that is not a 6. And this 8 means that cannot be 2, because if this was a 2, there would need to be an X ship there, and there's not. So that is not a 2, which means that is not a 3. So this is now 9, 8, or 6, and it can't be an 8 because there's an 8 there, so that is not a 2, which means this is not a 3, and we've got a 1, 4 pair. And this was just me explaining the principles. I really don't remember the solve path. I am making this up as I go along. There is a 1, 4 in that cell. So I cannot, if I was to put a 1, 4 on this V, that cell would be broken. So this is a 2, 3, which means this is a 7, 8. Five has to go down here because I cannot put 5 on either an X or a V. With a V, I'd have to put it with a 0. With an X, I'd have to put it with another 5. That is not possible. I do need to put, I can't put 2 low digits on this for it to be a V because I've already got 3 in the box. So this has to be a low and a high. So these are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I have to put a low on this and then I've run out of low digits. So those will be high. I don't want to use high-low coloring because then I'll lose the fleet coloring. And that was a problem with this puzzle. And back when I was cosmetically setting for this, I had not yet figured out how to do better highlighting and stuff. This one was always tricky to figure out. Now, what is next? So these are 1, 2, 3, 4 to go with this high digit. They're not 2, so this is not 8. Not 8. 6 cannot go next to 2 on a whisper line, so this is not... Wow, I keep doing that. This is not 6, so these are not 1. No, these are not 4. This is not 2, so this is not 3. Okay. That looks weird. If this is 7, this is 2... by the whisper line, this becomes 3 and I would need to have an X there. So that is not a 7. If that's 7, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 7. So that's not 7 either. That's 8, that's 3, that's 2, and that's 8. That's not 8 either. The negative XV forcing that to not be either 7 or 8 because it would force that to be the same thing. If that's 8, that's 3. Hang on, if that's 8, that's 3 because it couldn't be a 2. That'd be 2, and then that would be 8. So this is a 9. which takes 9 out of those. Now this has got to have 1 or 4 on it with a high digit. So it's either 1 9 or 4 6. And it can't be 1 9 because I've just placed the 9. So this is not 1 9, this is 4 6. So there's no 6, this is 5. There's no 6 or 5 here. This is 7 8 pair. And that's because I had to use a low digit and it couldn't be 2 3. Oh, that 4 6 makes this 1, which makes this 4. That means that can't be a 4 because I would need a V ship. So that is a 6, that is a 4. That 4 makes that 6, which makes that 4. These now need to sum to 15. So 8 and 6 is 14. So that's the 1 and that's the 3. That makes that the 7 and that the 9. And I have completed Babylon 5. This 1 means this is a 9 to get the X complete. This is not a 4 anymore, so this is not a 1 anymore. That's a 1 3 pair. Nine by Sudoku has to go there, which means neither of those can be 1s because I'd need X ships. So that's a 3, that's a 7, that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 4, 4. That is not a 4, so that is not a 1. It's also not a 3, so that is not a 2, and that is actually a 1 and a 4. So this triple is now known. 1, 5, and 8. That is not a 1, that is not a 5. So what can that be? Well, 3 needs to go on that because 3 can't go up there, 3 can't go in those cells, and that 3 C's there. So 3 is on this. So this is either 3 7 or 3 2. I can't put 7 there. So 3 is on that. One is down here because of these. Can't go next to the 4. And this 1 can't go with the 4, so it can't be an X. So one of these is 9. And it's not that one. So this is 9, this is 1. Puts 2 in one of those by Sudoku, which means 2 is down here. Now, if this is 2, this is 3 or 8. No, that'd be 8. 2, 8 would make this 3, 7. Yeah, it's okay. 6. 3 is in here. Hang on, 3 is in here because of Sudoku, which means I can't put 2 in there because if I put 2 in there, that would need to be a ship. So this is the 2. And that places that as the 3 because there's no ship there. So this 2 can't go with 3, so this is an 8. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's not 6. So 6 is down there. This is not 5. This is not 6. That's a 5, 7. So this is a 6. This becomes a 5, 7. Can't put 7 next to 3. That is 5. That is 7. That is 5. That 3 looks up making that 2, that 3, that 7, and that 8. That is not 8. Okay. These triples maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. Well, that's not 1. That's not 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Well, that's not 4. Well, that's 4. 5 and 8. And this is 2, 3, and 7, which means that's 2 because of the 3, 7 there. And there's no restriction here at all because that's not within a fleet. So one of the things similar like that, that is an X clue, but it's not completely within a fleet, so it is legal. I remember getting feedback that that was a bit confusing. I made the mistake myself quite a few times while creating this puzzle. I do remember that, even though I do not remember the solve path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, and 8. Well, 8 on a ship would need to go with a 2, so that is a 4, 6, and that becomes an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. That is not 7. But that's all. Oh, that is not 2, because 2 can't go next to 8 without being a ship. 1, 5, 8, and 9 are placed. So I do have other digits. Well, that has to be a 4, doesn't it? Because 4 can't go there, 4 can't go there, and I can't put 4 on a clue with a 3. So that is a 4. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 6, and 7. Well, there's no 2, 3 there. That's a 6 or a 7. There's no 7 there. There's no 3 there. So this is 2 or 6. And it can't be 2 because it's next to an 8. That's a 6. That's a 7. There's no 7 there. This is actually a 2, 3 pair. So that gives us these triples. 1, 2, 5. Can't put 5 on a ship. Ships are always 5-less. That can't be 2. That can't be 1. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's not 7. Now this ship comes into its own because in order for this to be a 1, it would need to be a 4 or a 9. So this is 2, which makes this is the 8. This is the 6. This is the 7. This is a 5. This is a 1. That 8 doesn't do anything. That 1, 6 makes that a 9, which makes that a 6 and that a 1. This becomes a 5, 8 to complete the row, and there's a 5 right above it. So that's the 8, that's the 5, that's the 8. That 7 makes that a 3 and that a 7. Maybe I'm remembering this puzzle better than I thought because I do not remember flying through it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 9 go in here. If this was a 9, the only other half of a ship with a 9 is a 1, so that's a 2. That's a 9. 2 is either with 8 or 3, and that can only be with a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which I can resolve because 4 would need to go. 4 can't go with 6, or that would be a ship. That is 5. That is 6. That is 4. That is 6. That 9 means that's the 7. That is not a 7. That 2 means that is 9, and that is 2. I really am flying through this. Okay, what's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That can't be 3 or 6. Couldn't be 3 because of the 7. Can't be 6 because of Sudoku. So that's the 2. This is 1, 4, and 7. Can't put 1 there because of no ship. Can't put 4 there because of Sudoku. And now the fleets are complete. Well, except for this one. In fact, that's been there for ages. That's an 8. That's a 5. That's a 1. That's a 4. That's a 1. That 2 makes that 3 and that 2. And now I'm down to the final box. That 3 over there makes that 6 and that 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to put a 5, 6, 7, 8. And I put in a 9. And that is Who Are You? What Do You Want? This was actually in testing, given the feedback as one of the hardest puzzles. And then having worked through this so far, the hardest one I've done is, of course, through the monolith, which nearly broke me. Yeah, I struggled setting this puzzle. I know setting this was a nightmare, but I really enjoyed solving it this time. I didn't remember much about it at all. But I hope you gave that one a shot, and I hope you enjoyed it. And now, I I really don't know if these are going to be bundled together into 3 videos or they're going to be spread out. I do not know what I'm going to do with them yet. I'll figure it out. So we'll see what future BremSter says. Recording 9 intros and outros in less than an hour is definitely a way of watching someone go crazy on camera. So hopefully you enjoyed Who Are You? What Do You Want? The puzzle I put together, the final puzzle I put together, sort of, for the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. Um, Tomorrow I will be back with Restoring the Galaxy to Order. What was advertised as the final puzzle for the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure, and it is definitely the last puzzle you need to do in order to save the galaxy. That is a promise, and that is not a lie. It is the final puzzle you need to do in order to save the galaxy. Absolutely. So that is a puzzle that was put together by Chili, and it is very, very thematic. And when he sent it to me, I was a little nervous, but it is a beautiful puzzle and perfect for the final puzzle in the pack. So if you've been enjoying these videos and following through the story, and I honestly don't know why you wouldn't be if you're watching this, then hopefully you're looking forward to that one. I will see you tomorrow for you, in just a couple of minutes for me. I'm going mad. And yeah, as always, I hope you're enjoying them. Good luck with your solving. Bye.